with Ozzy, there have been lots of improvements. He's still slowly progressing in the trusting phase. I think with humans, he still has a high fear, but here I'm working on touching his tail. You can see on his face he was a little worried. He's also still unsure about the saddle and the saddle pad, so I work with letting him smell it and then some positive reinforcement. You'll also see he's a little bit more bug-eyed than usual because of Timothy has the camera and has his arms are straight up in the air. So Ozzy is very unsure about what that human is doing. So I'm just trying to tell him, hey, no worries. We're just putting the saddle pad on. He's got a leg cocked, but he's still a little flinchy. But overall, every day he inches forward in his progression in conquering his fears and building his trust. So I've been really happy with how he is. And then the biggest thing has just been consistency. Earlier on in the week, I just spent a lot of time just having him tacked up and him hanging out with me. I had to teach a couple of lessons, and I think that really helped with his developing relaxation. So this is kind of our routine before I get on and ride him. I ground drive him, teaching him the voice cues of a hoe, and then I'm asking him to back. And he's pretty good with this and very little pressure on the bit. Again, I'm still just using a full cheek snaffle. That helps him with the steering in the beginning. And here I'm working on desensitizing him a little bit in his bubble. I'm right there at the haunches, but he can't kick me or anything, but he could bolt. That kind of was a thing that he liked to do. And here you'll see he gets a little worried. I just told him ho, and he stood. He's still just a little bit on edge here, and when he gets into that zone, tight energy, kind of what I call it, that's when they become reactive. So once he did that, he started to come back down. I could tell just from his energy he's starting to relax, and I just did a couple more desensitization throws with the rope. And this is just practicing for if you get a rope in front of you in case the horse is to spook at that. If I wanted to drag something, this is a good prep. Pulling it towards you, it's a good prep. I'm just finishing up here with trotting and jogging behind him. Again, this is a big kind of fear issue for him, having humans come up to him. And then I practice changing directions, and all that is prep for riding him. So here, it's all preparation, and he starts to walk off. Now, this is funny because earlier, he's very sticky-footed, so I practiced a lot on when I was just bareback to make him go forward when I would get on and off. And so now I have to go back and teach him that it's okay to stand still when I get on. But as you can see, he's not sticky-footed at all. He's very willing to go forward. He just thinks he's supposed to. So all I do is I just put a little pressure on the bit, tell him ho to stand, and then hop on, and I just have to reiterate so he understands what it means now. And then as soon as I get on, I make sure that I'm wiggling around, making sure he's relaxed. I ask him to back up a couple of steps here in a second. There he goes. And again, I'm trying to use position of my seat first, and then I go to the bit. And I also use my voice cues. So especially in the beginning, it's a great way to make sure your horses are nice and light on the bridle. And just getting him to walk around the arena, nice and soft, and I'm just kind of moving around, posting up and down. Then I ask him to go into the trot. The first time I asked him to trot in the arena, I did have another horse in the arena that he learned to follow, and so this is kind of building upon. This is the end of the week, so this is the progression of him. But he's starting to gain confidence. I can put my leg on him. I can ask him to move forward. I can touch his bum here, and just doing things that are a little different so you don't get stuck in staying in a perfect spot, especially on a very green horse. You want them to be comfortable with you kind of moving all around. Again, it's kind of why I like to start off in the beginning bareback and hanging all over them. They get used to you and confident with you on them, and very trusting. So I got him going nice and forward. He's nice and light on the bit. I ask him with a whoa by changing my position and then just subtly asking him to back. I've been really happy with how he has been. And he's gotten to where he trusts me to stand up on his back. I like to do this with the horses. It's kind of a fun exercise. He got a little worried, but nothing too big. He drew right to me, and I was really happy with how he worked for the day. I like to finish up playing around with the gate. We open and close it, and this gate really makes a lot of noise, so especially for Ozzy, this was a huge deal for him to overcome this fear. Again, I open and close the gate a couple of times and make them back up and go forward and back up, so they just don't open the gate and go to the barn. I find it's a good exercise to really get the horse to learn how to be patient and also not really gate sour and waiting on your cue to go to the barn. So this week was huge for Ozzy. Really made a lot of progression. He's starting to come around, and he's been a fun guy to learn from. Good boy.
Where are we? Did you know that you're in the Dover catalog?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. No? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, no.
So what are we going to get at Dover?
I need to get some more EquiFit wraps for Johnny. Possibly a hay bag. And I gotta try on some 1K helmets. Oh yeah, I'm a medium. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm a medium. Yeah. Cool. Well, Johnny's torn a couple of holes in his hay net, and he's also very picky about his hay. So he has to get like Western alfalfa, and he's not. All the leaf piles up on the bottom, and so he's making a big mess. So I wanted something a little bit more durable than the net that I have. So that's nice and big and should hold his hay well, and you won't be able to tear it. Look, they have like briar riders. We didn't have that before. Am I supposed to do something with it? Are you gonna give it like horse sounds?
Maybe I should.
That'd be funny.
It'd be like on real TV when they always put the wrong horse sounds in.
2 days later, you still didn't answer your calls.
Same.
I mean, no, I'm just not an emotional person. But
Blue raspberry slushy. I have blue on my face.
And your fingers.
Oh, my finger. I don't know. We're gonna try the biscuits and gravy.
All right, get it.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Doesn't smell bad. Smells like gravy. Tastes like sour cream and onion chips. If you let it sit for a second, the flavor profile's there. Right? They're tasting me. At first they taste like sour cream and onions, and
Then they taste like breakfast.
yeah, in the South. Because you never heard of biscuits and gravy, right?
No, it's gross.
That is not gross. Don't sin.
In Canada, it's the weirdest thing.
Canadians are weird.
Canadians think you're weird.
No.
Seriously. It's flour and
Flour.
It's flour and grease on top of cooked flour and grease. And salt and pepper.
That's right. Scrumptious. Really good. Sticking to the ribs. Doesn't cause any acid reflux when you're nervous. It's good stuff.